Assalamu alaikum. In this demo, I will be discussing Glue workflows. Now, in Glue workflow, we use for example, Glue Studio. We use Glue Studio to make ETL jobs, and we also use Glue workflow to do the same. But the advantage in Glue Workflows Studio is that we can create a large ETL jobs which involve a number of crawlers. For example, we can use a number of different crawlers in our workflow. We can use a number of different jobs, ETL jobs, and we can also define a number of different triggers. All of these different jobs, crawlers, and triggers can be used in one single workflow. And Glue Workflow essentially helps us to orchestrate these services. And the workflow would also be managing these individual components one by one, and then we can have a look at the progress and execution of each of these workflow components, which are the jobs and triggers and callers, etc. Now, in this case, what I'm doing, I've run a simple ETL job in which I am essentially taking data from my bucket, which is the customer CSV data. This is okay. So the format is CSV. We can see that this is in CSV. And then I'm gonna convert it into Parquet, and I've already done so in the previous runs. I'm putting it. This will be converted into a Parquet. And after this would be converted into Parquet, a crawler would run, and that crawler would of course infer the schema, and then we can simply run queries on Athena. All right, so having a look at the workflow. Okay, so in this case, I have these are the triggers. Okay, so workflows essentially have two things: triggers and nodes. These are the triggers. The triggers are essentially what are used to start a workflow or create a job, and our nodes are simply our ETL jobs or crawlers. So now I have an on-demand trigger. It would only run when I of course ask it to run, and then this trigger would run my ETL job. And then after the ETL job is only if the ETL job has been successfully completed, it would then the second trigger would start. The second trigger is that it will fire my glue crawler. Now that glue crawler would run, and then of course it would run on the result of the ETL on the destination bucket inside the ETL workflow, and then it would run the crawler over there and infer the schema. And of course, after the schema is inferred, we can run this. We can query it via Athena. Now let me simply run this. Sorry, we will run this workflow. Now this would take a few minutes. Okay. So we can see this. This is okay. We can see that this is running. Now we can see that this workflow has started, and we can view the run details. So it's currently working right now, and we can see in the Glue console. Just let me kill this. We can see that then the job has started just right now at 2022 at 8:40. What? Sorry. Let me refresh this. Okay, so the job hasn't started yet. Let me see. It's currently running and my job. Okay, so the trigger has started and now my ETL job has started. You can come over here and have a look at my job. You can see that this job has just started right now at 22:44, which is 8:44. Sorry, 20:44, 8:44. Now the job has just started, and it would take around a minute or so for it to complete. Now, just as soon as this job would be complete, we can move on to the next step, which was this trigger would start, which would as a result fire the crawler. So let us wait for that, and I'll come back in a moment. So our job has just been completed. You can see that it took this around a minute and 35 seconds. Let me refresh. Okay, this is over here it says this is currently running, even though this has been completed. And let me refresh this. Okay, so you can see that this job has been done. This job has been successfully completed, and now we are waiting for our group crawler to run. So currently we're at this state and waiting for the crawler to start. And at just any moment, okay. So our crawler is already running. We can see that our caller is running, and it would take a minute or so. Okay, for it to be complete. In the meantime, I can show you my results. Okay, so this is my input, and we can we just got the output. Let me refresh this. Okay, so we just got the output at 20:45, which is 8:45. Yeah. So this is our fresh result. And okay, so our caller has been fired, and it is currently being run. This is my ETL job. We can see that the caller is still running. Okay, so the crawler has been completed. And let us have a look at the console again. So I think it would take a moment for it to be refreshed, and we can see the results over here. Sorry, and we can see that the caller has been successfully run. Let me refresh this. It might take okay. So this is complete. Okay, so it's still running. Even though it is complete at the back end, I think it takes a moment or a minute or two for it to be completely, come up to speed with what is happening in the background. Okay, so this is done. This is done, and I can simply query my database. Sorry. So let me come back when this is done. So technically it's still running, so let me. Okay, so my run has been complete. We can see that it took this around 5 or so minutes. Okay, I don't know. It was just showing it a moment ago. So 43 to 45. Okay, it took it 2 minutes. All right. So we can see that this has been done and this has been done, and I can now query my table. Let me add another query, and let's say this is my table, South workload demo DB. This is my table, and I can simply preview the table and run a query. Okay, we got the result. Now I'm putting the result in over here, Athena result. And I can see my previous results over here as well. See, I have my previous query results over here and my current query result over here as well. All right, and thank you for listening.